Yeah. And there I got a delivery for Joey. Are you that YouTuber that makes videos on like an incredibly inconsistent schedule that no one can follow? Yep. That's me. I knew it was you. Man, I heard you have some brands in your DMs that are so mad. Something about dropping the ball over the course of the last year or something. Like every single deliverable you just didn't complete.
Yeah, it's amazing what self-doubt and criticism will do to a person.
Well, have you thought about making more videos? You know, filming some of the stuff that you probably bought in the last year that was supposed to like inspire you to make more content, but then you didn't make any more content and you probably ended up in this just endless loop of self-pity and yeah.
Well, I was thinking about getting back into it. Maybe like a desk tour or something.
Yes, perfect. Okay, give it like a nice thumbnail. You know, maybe some buzzwords like minimalist or productive. People love that stuff.
You think so?
I feel like everyone else has like a hook or a cinematic intro, something to like really, you know, get the viewers interested. Okay, if you have to do something, a skit. Do a skit in the beginning of the video. Make it like self-deprecating, kind of funny, but sort of awkward because you haven't done it in a while. I think it'll work.
You know what? Let's do it.
All right, but we have to start right now.
Like right now?
Okay, well, let me just adjust this then.
3, 2.
Okay, well.
In my last desk tour video, I made a comment about wanting to get a sit-stand desk. And lo and behold, we got one. A company named Effidesk reached out with their home office standing desk, and here it is. Well, sort of. I actually originally got the oak white laminate tabletop with black legs. I've been using this setup for the better part of a year now, and it's been great. It's only actually been in the last 2 weeks that I changed out the oak white tabletop for this one. This new tabletop is from IKEA, and it's called the Salgen, I think. I wanted this because A, I wanted a wooden style tabletop instead of like the white sterile look I had kind of going on before. And then B, I needed something bigger. The last desk was a good size, but it didn't really fit over top of the Alex drawers. So this one does, and it's much better. Nonetheless, when you buy a standing desk, you're really paying for the legs since that's the main reason why you're getting a desk like that. And these legs are great. They're a dual motor and have plenty of power for raising and lowering the desk. Plus, it's sturdy. Like when I want to get out of the desk, I just push against it, pull back in, it doesn't move at all. So over the last year, while I've been using this desk, I've been filming different parts along the way to kind of like document the journey. And I'm working on a long-term review because of that. So I'll save some of the details for that video. And instead right now, I'll just tell you that it's a welcomed addition to the space, and so far, so good. Well, as the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's exactly the case with the desk side storage here for the desk setup. I'm still using the white Alex drawers from IKEA to supply the his and hers desk side storage. I've got mine pretty dialed, so let's have a look. In the top, I'm using this IKEA tray organizer for my keys, wallet, pens, that sort of thing. And then I have little bin organizers from Amazon in the lower drawers to keep all the other small things separate from each other. These drawers provide everything I need within arm's reach when I'm working at my desk, which is why I'm still rocking them. I am, however, thinking about maybe painting the Alex drawers since they're white, which is fine, but maybe a darker color might go a little bit better with the wood. So if you have any tips or ideas on how to do that, what kind of paint to use, that sort of thing, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. So speaking of storage, I'm now using the Broer storage system from IKEA instead of what I used to have, which was the Kallax. The Kallax was fine, but it made a bit more sense as like a display type shelf rather than storage since everything was sort of open. So this one that has the shelf inside hidden behind 2 doors is much better. So this cabinet's pretty sturdy. It's made of metal. It's a matte black finish and has enough storage for basically everything I have. I also have an LED light strip on the inside of it so I can see my gear because it gets really dark in there, and without that you can't see anything. I was tired of pulling out my phone flashlight when I wanted to find a tripod or something, so now LED light strip, hit the button, you're good. Okay, now on to the fun stuff. I finally ditched my Intel-based MacBook, and I'm now rocking the 14-inch M1 MacBook Pro. Man, this thing is so much better than my Intel. I didn't know what I was missing out on. I've heard people rave about it and be excited, but it wasn't until I actually started using it that I realized how much better it really is. So yeah, it's good. The spec I went with is the M1 Pro chip with the 10/16/16 configuration, and I have a 1TB SSD. I know this device is already a year old, but I came across a good deal, decided to pull the trigger, and I haven't looked back. And just like the sit-stand desk, I think that this MacBook probably deserves its own video because I have a lot of things to say about it. So to keep it short and sweet for now, it's super fast, it's way quieter, like you never hear the fan, and it actually fits inside of my 13-inch MacBook sleeve from before, which is kind of funny because it's bigger, but hey, it fits, so bonus. Oh, real quick, I'm actually using a stand now for my MacBook. I used to just kind of put it in clamshell mode under the monitor, but now I've got it in this metal stand. It's just a cheap one from Amazon, but I'll link it below. Actually, for that matter, everything else I'm gonna talk about in this video is linked below. So if you're trying to help me cash out, then that's the place to do it. Something else that's exciting, I have a new monitor this time around. I used to use this BenQ 32-inch 4K monitor, but I wasn't really happy with the color accuracy or the viewing angles. It had a VA panel, and I think for my needs, an IPS panel would be a lot better. So that's what I got. So this is the LG, get ready for it, 27UP650-W. If you're wondering. But what the numbers mean is that it's a 27-inch 4K IPS panel. This one doesn't actually have USB-C power delivery, but it was $315 Canadian, and the one with power delivery, I think it was the 800 or something like that, was over 600 bucks. So that wasn't gonna do it for me. Plus, I use a dongle anyway between the monitor and the MacBook, so yeah, the USB-C pass-through just wasn't necessary. I am happy to report that this new monitor has great viewing angles. The colors look nearly identical to my MacBook, and despite it being smaller than my previous 32-inch monitor, this thing has plenty of real estate for everything I need to do on it. I would definitely recommend this monitor to anyone who wants a great 4K monitor that's on a budget, and there will be a link down below, same as everything else, if you want to get this one. So a minute ago I mentioned the dongle. This is still the same one I've had for a while. It's the CalDigit Soho dock. I chose this one because it has all the ports on the same side, or at least the ports I need to access frequently, which is the micro SD, the SD, the USB-C, and the USB-A. I don't like having to fish around the back of the monitor to find the ports and things, so this one's good, and I actually have it just Velcroed to the underneath of my monitor, so quick access, in and out, no problem. Next up is my light bar. This is the BenQ Screen Bar Halo. So this thing is great because the light comes right down from the top. It illuminates your whole desk surface, puts light on the keyboard, puts light on your mouse. If you're drawing or using any kind of paper, you want to write something down, you can see it nicely. And the best part is there's no glare on the monitor. All those things are true for most light bars. The reason I have this one though is that it kind of has extra like creature comforts that some of the other ones don't. So for example, you control it with this puck, this like wireless puck here. With that, you can change the color temperature, you can change the brightness, you can save your favorite settings. You can also change the modes. So there's a mode where you have the light bar just on. There's also a mode where the backlight, like the one that shines onto the back wall, is on. And of course you can make them both on at the same time. That's usually the way that I leave it. This thing is a pretty premium desk accessory that probably isn't for everyone given its high price tag. But if you have the money or you think it's really worth it, then I think this is probably the best one to get. Now we're on to desk peripherals. Keyboard wise, I'm using the mechanical keyboard, the Keychron K3. The configuration I have here is the white backlight with the brown mechanical switches. The typing experience is really good, the feedback is nice, but it's not too clicky like my K2 that I have is really clicky. This thing's a little bit quieter, which I think is better for me. Yeah, so for a $100 keyboard, I really can't recommend it enough, especially over my last one, which was a $30 Logitech keyboard. This thing is just way better. And speaking of Logitech, I reassigned my previous mouse, the Logitech Master MX2, to my office. I have a day job where I have an office, so I brought that mouse there, and I have this one now is the Logitech MX Master 3S. To be honest, I really didn't think it was gonna be a big change. I know that people talk about, oh, it's so much better, but I really didn't expect it to be that much better. Honestly, it's a lot better. The clicking is way quieter. It's like a softer click to it. For my hands, the ergonomics of this mouse, especially with like the back button and the side scroll wheel, it's way better. And even like the scrolling on it is just a quieter, more like satisfying scroll. These are all weird things to say about a mouse, but I'm pleasantly surprised that I actually really like this one over the other one. As for the thing that the keyboard and mouse are sitting on, this is the Grove-made light gray wool desk pad. It's a premium desk accessory that makes for a much nicer mouse experience than just using it on the tabletop itself. So the desk pad is the answer to that. I chose the light gray for this space to keep the aesthetic nice and light. And after using it for nearly a year, I think I would choose this one again. Maybe a little bit bigger because they have bigger sizes. And now that I'm using a bigger desk, it might have been better to have a bigger size, but nonetheless, it's good. Now you might have noticed this microphone in some of these shots. This is the newest thing from me here and I'm very excited about it. I've always just used the Rode Video Micro jammed right up in my face as I try to do these voiceovers. And while it works, this just is much better. Right here, this is the Shure MV7 desktop mic. It's my first professional microphone, so take my opinion with a little bit of grain of salt here, but so far I really like it. I went with the black USB option since I don't know anything about XLR audio. So far the usability is awesome for voiceovers like this. The Shure desktop app lets you change different settings to dial in the sound just right. Or if you're me, you can run in auto mode because again, I don't really know much about mixing audio. I have the Shure SM7B pop filter on here as recommended by some YouTubers since apparently this mic suffers from poor plosive performance. If you don't know what plosives are, you're not alone. I had to look it up to write this script. Plosives are the pop sound you hear as a result of the air blasting from your voice into the mic, and they can be avoided by having a pop filter. Apparently the one from the SM7B works better than the stock one, so that's what we're rocking. New to the space, and actually part of the inspiration of doing a wood tabletop, is that I have a bench in here now. It's a wooden bench from Structube called the Zac. We wanted a bench in here for a while since this is the first room that you walk into when you come in the apartment. So putting down like your coat or your backpack, your shoes, they kind of needed a place. So the bench is the spot for that. We also have a cat bed on top because we got a new cat. This is Allie. She is a cat that we've had for just about a year now. And she likes this little bed there. Say hi to Allie in the comments. Oh man. Another Structube find is this chair. I've had this chair for a while. It's called the William chair. I would say all things considered, it's a decent chair. It has height adjustability and tilt adjustability, but since I've had it for like 5 years now, the foam is a bit worn on it. And also too, for what it's worth, I try to spend a lot of my time standing at the standing desk because that's kind of the whole point. So if I ever do find myself getting sore from sitting here for a while, I'll just hit the button, stand up, and then it's all good. A couple other small things to mention here. I've got the foam sound panels on the walls. I've had those for also probably a few years now. They work well for keeping the echo down, but to be honest, I'm sort of falling out of love with the look of them. So if they come down, don't be surprised. I have my IKEA cart that I mentioned last time. It's sitting over here beside the desk. The IKEA cart is great for anything you want to use while you're filming or while you're working. Lenses, lights, batteries, those types of things are perfect for the cart. I have an area rug for the main walking or rolling surface in the office. I don't really know what to say about it. It's a rug. I don't know. I've got a couple IKEA lamps, one over here, one over there. Yeah, I'm looking around. I think that's just about it. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Hit like if you liked the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and that's about it. Happy 2023. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Okay, we're done. We're done. Yay, done.